Hello, I've decided to make a series of videos, it's a tat-along really, to make these little trees. I have just published this pattern on my blog. It is not my design. It was designed by a lady called, apologies for my pronunciation, Edith Reusti-Hollenstein, a German lady. I was lucky enough to obtain the pattern through a friend, and she's given me permission to publish it on my blog. If you follow the link in the information box below the video, you can print yourself a copy and follow along. So I'm going to do it in a few videos, not all in one go. So it's a nice little tree. It can stand up, actually. I'm not going to make it stand up, but if you take your time, it can stand up by itself if you want. But it looks nice with a little loop, and you can hang it in your Christmas tree or elsewhere as a decoration. And fun little thing as well, it does fit nicely on the end of a pen, if you wish. For a nice little topper. So here we are, a little tree. It's a nice 3D tree. We're going to start with 2 shuttles wound together. I've made these quite full because I have not yet calculated how much exactly thread I need on each. So I'm going to mark on my pattern. I'm going to start with this shuttle. So first ring with this shuttle. I'm going to mark it on my pattern, and I'll see at the end how much thread we have left. So there we are. So we are starting with little rings of 3 picots separated by 2 stitches. 2, and all the picots in this pattern are very tiny. 1, 2, and a third picot. 1, 2, sorry, second picot and a third picot. Apologies. So here we are, 3 picots separated by 2 stitches. Close the ring. And now we're going to make the second ring, which is the same, but it's joined to the first. I'm going to pull on this and tuck it inside my watch strap out of the way. Two stitches and join. I see that my hook has moved. 1 second, I'll be back. I'm going to sort that out. Okay, so 2 stitches and join, and 2 more stitches and a tiny picot. 2 stitches, a third picot, 2 stitches, and close the ring. Next ring is exactly the same. 2 stitches and join. 2 stitches and a tiny picot. 2 stitches and a third picot and 2 stitches, and close the ring. Now it's the 4th ring. 2 stitches and join. 2 stitches and a picot. 2 stitches and a picot, and close. And now we're doing the 5th ring of this round, and this is a split ring. One, 2, and join, and 2 more stitches. So because I like working patterns in one pass wherever I can, this is what I've done for this pattern also. And we're going to be using split rings and split chains to move from round to round. The first 2, I think, only need split rings, but you will need split chains for the 3rd round. So I know that some beginners might not feel they want to tackle split rings and chains, but you can do this pattern by cutting and tying at each round if you wish, and then you don't need to use split rings and split chains. But I recommend anybody to have a go and try, because they're so useful as a design element. I have videos that show how to work both split rings and split chains, to demonstrations on how to make them. So I hope some of you will give it a try and discover something new. But if not, as I say, you can just cut and tie after each round and start again. So we're doing the second half of the split ring. I flip my hand over and I'm working on this thread, which you have to keep taut, and then you make your stitches around the core thread in reverse order. So 1, 2 stitches, and the join on the second half of a split ring is slightly different. So I'm going to go through the picot. So I'm trying to make myself a bit of space here, through the picot. And then you want to go and grab the core thread under your working thread and grab the core thread. Pull a loop and pass your shuttle through it, and then you tighten it, and I pull on the ring a bit to make it pop back. Hope you can see. So that it's definitely your working thread here coming from the shuttle that is wrapped around your core thread. And finish with the second half, and which is made like a first half, is, yes, because we're doing reverse order. So second half, first half for the last 2 stitches of the split ring, and close the ring. So that's the first round completed. It does dome a little bit, but not very much yet, but it certainly will. Once you do the next round, this will pull it all in. So we're starting the second round with a split ring as well, and this split ring has 3 stitches. So I'm going right close to the previous ring to start. 2, 3 stitches, a picot, always tiny picots, and 3 stitches, and then we're making the second half. So I'm dropping my shuttle to the back and using the other one, and reverse order stitches unflipped. So second half, first half, second half, first half, oh, second half, first half for 3 stitches, a tiny picot, 2, and 3 stitches. So that completes the split ring. We're going to close the ring. And in the pattern it says reverse work and make the chain, which is the way most people do it. For the chains, I really like working with unflipped reverse order stitches, because it saves you having to keep rewinding your shuttle. So you can follow on the pattern. It says reverse work and make chains as normal, and that's absolutely fine, but I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to make reverse order unflipped stitches for the chains. I'm going to leave a tiny gap here because I need to join back at the beginning, just a really tiny, just so it's easier to push my hook through it when I come back to it. So 2 stitches, so we have 5 picots separated by 2 stitches for the chains. So 2 tiny picot, 2 tiny picot, 2 and a tiny picot, 2 picot, and a last one. That's the 5th picot. Here we are. And what I like also about unflipped reverse order chains is that I find they end up being very even, because I just pull my stitches as I go rather than making all the stitches and then pulling them tight at the end, you know, snugging the stitches, as we often say. So now we're ready to make the second ring. Three stitches and join to the previous ring. 3 stitches, up, 2, 3, and join to the next ring of the previous round. And normally I count the join as the first half of my next stitch, but in this case I just find it looks a bit nicer and a bit more even. I do start with the first half, so I make a full stitch after the join. So 1, 2, 3, and a picot, 1, 2, 3, and close the ring. So that's 2 rings, and now we're making the next chain. You see what I mean by working the chains like this? You don't need to rewind this shuttle. You'd have to rewind it all the way back after having made rings, but by working like this you don't need to. So 2 stitches, a picot, 2 stitches, a picot, 2 stitches, a picot. Is that the third one? 2 stitches, a picot, and 2 stitches. Nope, sorry, one more. That's the 5th one. 5th picot and 2 stitches. And then we're making the 3rd ring. I've used this very pale green because I actually started it in a different color. This is my 2nd time having a go, and I found wasn't enough contrast between the thread and my fingers, so I thought that was going to be a bit easier to see. So 3 stitches and join. The other advantage, so the 3rd advantage of doing these type of chains with unflipped stitches is also that it naturally makes it a front side back side tatting without having to think about it, because then all your stitches face front. And I think in this case of this tree is quite nice because you're only going to see one side of it. 2, 3, and join. And 3 stitches, 2, 3, a picot, and 3 more stitches to complete the ring. So it's already starting to pull it in and make it cup a bit. So we're making the next chain. 2 stitches, 1 picot, 2 stitches, 2 picots, 2 stitches, 3 picots, 2 stitches, 4 picots, 2 stitches, and the 5th picot. There we are for the chain. And the next ring. Oh, got them twisted together. 3 stitches, and join. 3 stitches, and join to the next ring of the first round. Nope, I want to start with the first half. So that's the join, and start with the first half. 3 stitches, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the 4th ring completed. Like that. And the next chain. Two stitches, a picot, 2 stitches, a picot, 2 stitches, picot, that's the third one, that's 4 picots, and the last one, and 2 stitches. And now we're making the last ring, which will pull it together and close the round. So 3 stitches and join to the previous ring. 3 stitches and join to the ring of the previous round, and 3 stitches, and then not forgetting, because it's the last one, we have to join back to the first ring of the round. And 3 stitches, 2, 3. And this all pulls it together. Like this. And we're making the last chain. Two stitches, picot, 2 stitches, picot, 2 stitches, third picot, 2 stitches, fourth picot, 2 stitches, fifth picot. Okay, and we're going to make a lock join right at the back at the beginning. It's easier to flip your work over, which is the side you would be facing if you'd made standard chains. So using the core thread, you're going to join back at the base of the first ring of the round. I left myself a little space. Oh, there it is. Not always easy to see. There we are. Grab the thread and pass your shuttle through it. Right. So that's it. That's the first 2 rounds of our little tree. See you soon in the next video for the following round.